President Obama is promising legal and regulatory reform of offshore drilling, and last week he made another promise he intends to keep, what he termed my solemn pledge to bring those responsible for the Gulf disaster to justice. And with that announcement, he has landed yet another member of his cabinet squarely in the Gulf spotlight.
I don't think I'd want to differentiate anything at this point other than to say that the investigation that we have begun is a comprehensive one, and we would be looking at a wide range of things, everything from false statements to the way in which certain entities conducted themselves. There is really nothing that's off the table at this point.
Just as the response authority to the disaster is spread among several agencies, Homeland Security, the Environmental Protection Agency, Interior, the DOJ investigation will involve an interagency effort.
The Justice Department is the one place where there is coordination, and where when they start talking about going and bringing counts under whichever of these statutes, and they can bring counts under several of these statutes because again there's a lot of overlap here. The Justice Department is the one place where there can be coordination in such an effort, and that's what's going on right now.
For example, EPA and its administrator, Lisa Jackson, will actually develop this case for justice.
The Department of Justice is basically the law firm for the United States of America, and the attorneys in EPA are basically the in-house lawyers. They know the program, they know how EPA works, and the Department of Justice is basically, those are their litigators, they're the ones that would go into court and argue the case on behalf of EPA.
And that involves sorting through the specific laws involved here. Holder cited the Clean Water Act, which can carry civil and criminal penalties. Also, the Oil Pollution Act of 1990. The government can use that to recoup cleanup costs. And the Migratory Bird Treaty and Endangered Species Acts, both of them carrying penalties for dead or injured animals.
A lot of the environmental statutes are basically strict liability in the sense that, let's say you have a permit. If you have a violation of the permit, the reason why you violated the permit is not an issue. It's basically strict liability. It's like going 55 miles per hour and you're at 60, and the guy's going to, and the police officer is going to give you the ticket regardless of what your reason was.
Another major consideration here, the deadly explosion that started this oil spill. 11 workers died in the accident.
That almost makes it automatic that they're thinking criminal. They just almost have to be thinking criminal. You can go on EPA's website, it's a very good website, and there's a criminal enforcement page. And you start tracking through the last few years, and you see anytime there's a death, you're going to start seeing some notes about criminal prosecutions, pleas, settlements, and so forth. And I might say with some pretty major oil companies.
Well, we're not in a position yet where I think we have in our own minds come to conclusions as to who should be ultimately held liable, and I don't want to cast aspersions unnecessarily. The investigation has been ongoing, but I would say that we are not near the end of that investigation or that inquiry.
BP says it will cooperate with the Department of Justice, just as it's doing with the other inquiries already underway. But the White House apparently has its doubts about that. Last week, Press Secretary Robert Gibbs questioned the transparency of BP after its estimates about the size of the Gulf spill proved to be well below those of outside experts. At the White House, I'm Tyler Suiters, Clean Skies News.